Hello, thank you for coming back again to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be looking at the operational services that microfinancial institutions are authorized to carry out, and I'm going to be using the case study of Cameroon. In Cameroon, microfinancial institutions are regulated by COBAC, and so the services that they carry out are authorized by COBAC. So they have the main services that COBAC authorizes them to carry out, and they have some other services they call ancillary services. So for the main services that they carry out, we have collection of savings, the granting of loans, provision of services to clients, and then we have the management of instruments, facility, and they can also do the transfer of money. And the other services, some of these services, they can do it independently, like savings, loans, and the rest. And they can also be work with their bank. Like if you're a category 1 microfinancial institution, you work with your bank, maybe for some transactions like international transaction, maybe check clearance, if you cannot do it yourself. So those are some of the services that they are authorized to do. So according to COBAC, microfinancial institutions have the right to collect savings, and savings are little amounts of deposits where clients or members of the microfinance deposit in their accounts on a daily basis. They are also authorized to give out loans. Loans are money credits, like money that you give to people for an interest to pay back by time. And the interest rate that you will see mostly category 1 microfinancial institutions. In my next video, I will tell you the different categories of microfinance that exist in Cameroon. But for now, just permit me to mention, when I say category 1, you understand in time. So the majority of interest, the interest is dependent. So they give out loans. The interest can be 12% annually. That's 1% every day. If it is loan within savings, it can be 18%. And then we have other kinds of loans, like special facility loans that sometimes some microfinancial give out, even up to 5%. Yes, sometimes you can have that. And we have some special loans like container loans, which it depends now on the context, because they are very risky. In finance, the principle of finance is that the higher the risks, the higher the returns. So whenever the risk is high, the interest might be high. But we also have the COBAC regulated interest. So that you have to use as microfinancial institutions. And then we have the managed instruments of payments, and this it depends now within the CEMAC system. You can do transfer within CEMAC. And just for you to know, within this year 2025, the Ministry of Finance authorized microfinancial institutions to operate out of Cameroon. It means as a microfinancial institution, as of January 2025, you can operate in the CEMAC zone, like Congo, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Chad. So within these 5, Central African Republic, because there's 6 countries in the CEMAC zone. So within these 5 other countries plus Cameroon, you can set up your branch. So that's the COBAC, because COBAC gave that privilege. So microfinance institution can now go international, as opposed to before, especially category 1s. I'm talking about category 1s in this case. So we have the transactions that they can also do. They also have the ancillary services. They can do leasing transactions, money exchange, leasing. Like when you see you've built a house, leasing is actually renting. Like when you see a microfinance that has built a house, it's authorized to give out part of the house as loans, as for rent, and that's leasing. We also have money exchange. You can partner with an exchange organization, Western Union, RIA, and all those organizations to do money exchange. You have safe rentals. Like if you have a safe, you can also rent it out. Maybe people put their jewelries. So that's part of the activities that microfinancial institutions are authorized to do. And they also have trainings. These are things that microfinancial institutions are authorized to do by COBAC, because that's the organization that regulates microfinancial institutions in Cameroon. I would love you to tell us in the comment section the organization that regulates microfinancial institutions in your country and the services authorized by microfinancial institutions to carry out. Now, this is just what COBAC says. Now, within the laws of COBAC, you can do what we call product development. So in product development, you want to Because one thing about banking services is that they are customized. When I say banking services are customized services, it means that they are meant to meet the needs of people, especially when you want to do corporate banking, because no corporate institution will operate the same. So an institution can come to you. For example, if I am a school, I'll come to you. Maybe I want you to pay my staff the school fees of my staff, the salary of my staff, collect school fee of my students. That is what a school may want. Now, another institution will come, which is not a school. It may want you to pay their suppliers, maybe a business, pay my suppliers and collect the payment from my clients. So that's a different service. So you will not force everybody to do the same thing. You will not say, once you come in here, you must pay fees and then I pay your salary, the salary of your staff. No, all businesses have different modalities of operation and every individual have their particular need. That is why as a microfinance, you will now go into product development. Now, in the product development, a microfinance that is existing in Douala, for example, if that same microfinance were to leave, let's say, Douala Aqua to go and operate in Littoral, maybe in Loom or in Manjo, you will see that you will be forced to develop products to meet the needs of those people. That's where product development comes in, which are still, you do product development still within the regulations, but to meet now the particular needs of the people. For example, when they say savings is a product that Kobac authorizes. Now you will now come, okay, there's some people who cannot save every month, but they can save daily 500, 1,000. You now develop that product called daily savings. It's still a savings, but now it's daily savings. It's meeting the particular needs of the people. So as a manager of a microfinancial institution, you have to be very, very proactive, sensitive, and then look at the needs of the people and develop products to meet those particular needs. Now, when you are developing the products, there are things you should consider. You have to understand the client segment. You have to look at the demography. Who are the demographic? Are they male? Are they female? Are they educated? Are they influential? What are their financial preferences? Maybe people who just maybe need money to enhance their business. Like, you have to understand the nature of your population. Are they household? Are they housewives? Are they workers? Are they business people? You have to understand that. Then at the geographic segment, where are they located? Like I said, a business, a microfinance in Loom will not operate the same as a microfinance in Douala. In Loom, you're looking at cocoa farmers, for example. And you're also looking at maybe people who are cultivating. And in Penja, you're looking at maybe pepper and all those activities. Maybe farm. You can structure a loan for farm, for people working in a farm. For example, if I'm designing a product for farmers who are cultivating, say, pepper, and I know that pepper takes 3 months to get ready, I will not force them to be paying interest every month. I will be able to structure a loan that matures in 3 months, and then I give to that you would work with. I work it out with your software developer. So when I structure out this loan, I give you in 3 months. Once you are harvesting the pepper, I am there. I need to know the farm and when you are harvesting, because when it comes to loan, people can really be funny. So I have to be there when you're harvesting and make sure that as you're making the first sales, the money is coming to pay your loan. But if you give a loan to somebody who's working pepper and the life cycle of pepper is 3 months, and you expect that person to pay you that loan in say every month, the person may default on the loan, and you see that your delinquency will be high for no reason. So if you do not understand the location of people in your product development, you fall into problems for no reason. And the next thing, you want to look at the economic activity. What are the people doing? Are they doing businesses that the money enter daily? What particular economic activity are these people involved in? And what is the financial requirement? Because somebody may come and the activity needs a loan of 30,000 francs CFA, and they come to you and they want a loan of 100,000. If you give them the loan of 100,000, you're doomed, because they will not pay back, because that money is too much for them. And so they will squander it, they'll misuse it, and when the time for payment comes back, they'll be unable to pay. So you have to look at the economic activity and the financial requirements. For example, somebody is coming to you that he wants to open a school and he needs a loan of 500,000. It's a lie. 500,000 cannot open a school. And if somebody is coming to you and telling you that he wants to start maybe to be selling tomato in the market and he needs a loan of 100,000, it's still a lie, because 100,000 is too much. So you have to understand the finance requirement. That's why, as a manager of a microfinancial institution or as a worker in loans in microfinance, you have to know your economy, study the environment, know what is happening. You have to be up to date with what is happening, so that your products will not be outdated, or they will meet the needs of your population. You also need to look at the lifestyle. Understand people's lifestyle and be careful with seasons like December. If you know that these people, they're extravagant, you should be careful when you're giving them loan, because they will go and cook nice food and eat. They will go and maybe buy nice hair and put, and they will not pay back your loan. Understand the lifestyle of the people. What is it that is required? Now, somebody wants to come and take a loan from you, and maybe has 5 children and has a salary of, say, 150,000 a month, and their house rent is 30,000 every month, and they want to take a loan from you, and they tell you that they will be paying back 100,000 every month. Oh, it's a lie. They cannot pay back, because when they have paid their rents, those children need to go to school. They need to be feeding every day. So when you understand the lifestyle of these people, it will help you in your product development, in the kinds of loans you structure for them, in the kinds of things you encourage them, how much you can encourage them to save. You can help them set targets and all those things. So these are the things that you can consider when you're developing a product. So the process, you look at need assessment. As we've said, the process of product development, basically you look at the need assessment of the people. For you to do this, you have to conduct a survey. You don't just sit in your office and assume that this is what people need. No, you have to do a need assessment, because you may be thinking that they need something when they need another. When we looked at the history, those women were selling basket, but their problem was what? Access to finance. So you have to look at the need assessment. You first of all design a prototype. Yes, try it with 2, 3, 5 people, and then when it works, before you can do for many other people, and then you test it and get feedback. You don't just operate. You don't just assume. You're dealing with human beings, and their feedback is important for the improvement of your services. And then you look at you launch it, and then you now scale. You can do all these things and you launch, and it's still not scalable. For example, when I was operating as a general manager of Cooperative Credit Union Limited, I did a need assessment and everything for Muslims, because whenever I went out for marketing, I realized that these people, they don't save, because Muslims do not believe in the charging of interest. I'll be doing other videos on Islamic finance for you to understand why Muslims do not believe in the charging of interest. And so I designed a Sharia compliant product for them, and this Sharia compliant product, it did not really grow the way I expected. Now, this was because I don't know. So I just want you to know that you may do the need assessment and everything and develop a product and launch it, and then it never grows. Maybe the Muslims did not believe in me since I'm a Christian and I'm a woman, and maybe I don't cover my hair and all those things, and maybe we did not have Muslim workers to be able to boost the product. So those are some of the things too that you have to consider when you're developing your product. And when it comes to credit unions, you see language too. You have to come down to their language. When you have done everything, you have to speak the language of the people. If they come to you and they're speaking pidgin, you want to speak your high-tech grammar. How my sister, they go talk pidgin for that mommy there. Yes. And some of them cannot write. So you can also be thinking of what product can go for people who cannot read, who cannot write. So these are things that you should be thinking as a manager. And when you test for feedback, and then So when you've done all this, you test for feedback, you tailor the products to the needs of the people, and then you can continue. You can also use technology to improve your product. So that is it that we had to do about product development, and I hope that you use this video to improve your services as a manager, as whosoever is operating, and as a student. You can extend your reading on this knowledge to be able to become the best in what you are doing. So thank you so much for watching. I count on you to like, subscribe if this meaning made any sense to you, and see you next time in the next video.